Father died just a year ago, on this very day, your name day, Irina. It was very cold, snow was falling. When you fainted, I thought you were dead. And now, we can think of it calmly. You're already in white, and your face is so radiant. It was raining then, heavy rain and snow.
Why bring it up?
It's warm today, we have the windows open. The birches aren't in leaf yet. It was 11 years ago that Father was given his brigade and came with us here from Moscow. 11 years ago, and I remember Moscow then, at the beginning of May. Oh, it was warm and everything was bathed in sunshine. Everything was in flower. I remember the day we left as though it were yesterday. And today, when I woke up and saw the sunshine streaming in, oh, I wanted so much to be back home again. Oh, don't whistle, Masha. How can you? Being at school all day and at my lessons till evening gives me a headache. Makes me gloomy. 4 years at that school have sapped my strength and my youth, and only one yearning grew stronger and stronger.
To go back to Moscow, to sell the house, to make an end of everything here and return to Moscow.
Yes, to Moscow as soon as possible.
Andrey will be a professor. He won't stay here. The only difficulty is poor Masha.
Oh, Masha will come and spend every summer with us in Moscow.
I hope it comes to pass. When I woke up this morning and remembered it was my name day, I felt so joyful. I thought of my childhood when Mother was alive. I was thrilled by such wonderful, wonderful thoughts.
Oh, you're radiant today and look lovely. And Masha is lovely too. Andrey would be good looking, but he's grown too fat. And I've grown older and ever so much thinner. Probably because I get so cross with the girls at school. Oh, but today I'm free. I'm at home, my head doesn't ache. I feel younger than I did yesterday. If I were married, I would gladly stay at home all day long. Oh, I would love my husband.
You talk such nonsense. I forgot to tell you, you will receive a visit today from Vershinin, the new commander of our battery.
Well, I'll be delighted.
Is he old?
He's 40, 45 at most. But he talks a lot.
Is he interested?
He has a wife, a mother-in-law, 2 little girls. He tells everyone he has a wife, a mother-in-law, and 2 little girls. He'll tell you too. His wife frequently attempts to commit suicide, evidently to annoy her husband. I should have left a woman like that years ago, but he merely puts up with her and complains.
Ivan Romanich.
Is it my
dear Ivan
child,
Romanich?
my joy?
Why am I so happy today? As though I was sailing with the great blue sky and white birds high overhead. Why? Why?
Oh, my white bird. Oh.
When I woke up, everything in the world seemed crystal clear. It seemed that I knew all at once how one ought to live. My dear Ivan Romanich, I know all about it now. We must work, to toil by the sweat of our brow, whoever we are. All the purpose and meaning of life, all happiness lies in that alone. Just as one thirsts for water when it's hot, I thirst for work. And if I don't work, give me up as a friend, Ivan Romanich.
Oh, I'll give you up. I'll give you
That
up.
yearning for work, how well I understand it. I never worked a day in my life. I was born in cold, idle Petersburg in a family that knew nothing of work, hadn't a care in the world. But the time is coming. An avalanche is at hand, and soon a mighty storm will blow the indifference, the laziness, and that distaste for work at the rotten boredom out of our society. In 30 years, everyone will work. Everyone. Even me. I'll work too.
I'm not going to work.
But you don't count.
In 20 years, you won't be here. Thank God in 2 or 3 years you'll kick the bucket, or I shall lose my temper and put a bullet in your head, my end.
I haven't done a lick of work since I left the university. I've never read a book. I read only the newspaper. They're calling for me. Someone's come for me. I'll be back.
He's got something up his sleeve.
You're not very cheerful today, Masha. Where are you going?
Oh, that's odd.
Or to walk out on a name day party.
Never mind. I'll be back later this evening. Goodbye, my darling. Father's alive. We always had 30 or 40 officers here on name days. But today, never mind what I say. Goodbye for now.
From the district council, from Mikhail Ivanich Protopopov. A cake?
From Protopopov? I don't like that man, that Mikhail Ivanich or Potapich. He shouldn't have been invited.
I didn't invite him.
Good.
A samovar? Oh, how awful!
I warned you.
Thank you. Ivan Romanich, you really have no conscience.
My dear girls, my darlings, you're all I have. You are the most precious treasures I have on earth. I'm an old man, alone in the world, a useless old man with nothing good in me except my love for you. If it hadn't been for you, I would have been dead long ago. Ah, my dear, my little girl. I've known you from when you were born. I carried you in my arms. Ah, I love you.
Lieutenant Colonel Vershinin.
May I have the honor of introducing myself? Alexander Ignatievich Vershinin. How you've all grown up. How time flies, how time flies. Colonel Prozorov's little girls.
Alexander Ignatievich has come from Moscow.
From Moscow? You've come from Moscow?
Yes, your father was in command of a battery there, and I was an officer in the same brigade. Your face. I remember now.
I don't remember you.
Olya! Olya, come! Lieutenant Colonel Vershinin is from Moscow.
So you were Olga Sergeyevna, the eldest, and you were Maria, and you were Irina, the youngest.
You come from Moscow?
Yes, I studied in Moscow and served there for years. Now at last I've been given a battery, here. I knew your father. If I shut my eyes, I can still see him, as though he were living. And the three of you too. I used to visit you in Moscow.
And I thought I remembered everyone, and now all at once.
My name is Alexander Ignatievich.
Alexander Ignatievich, you've come from Moscow. What a surprise.
Yes, we're going to move there, you know.
We were born there. And by autumn, hopefully, we'll be back again at last. Now I remember. Do you remember, Olya, they used to talk of the lovesick major? You were a lieutenant at the time and were in love, and for some reason everyone called you Major to tease you.
Yes, the lovesick major. That was it.
You only had a moustache then. How much older you look now.
Yes, when I was called the lovesick major, I was young. I was in love. Now it's quite different. Is it long since you left Moscow?
11 years. But why are you crying, Masha? You foolish girl. I should cry as well. All right. And which street did you live?
In Old Basmania.
Oh, but that's where we lived too. Oh, yes, now I do remember you, I recall.
I knew your mother.
She was a fine woman.
Mother is buried in Moscow. Would you believe it? I'm already beginning to forget her face. So people won't remember us either. They'll forget us.
Yes. They'll forget us all. Such is our fate. What is serious and significant to us will one day be forgotten or seem unimportant. And we can't possibly tell exactly what will be considered great and important, and what will seem petty and ridiculous. Didn't the discoveries of Copernicus or Columbus, say, seem useless and ridiculous at first, while the nonsensical writings of some fool seem true? And perhaps our present life, the life we accept so readily, will in time seem strange, inconvenient, stupid, not clean enough, perhaps even sinful.
Oh, who knows? Perhaps our age will be called a great one and be remembered with respect. Now we have no torture chamber, no executions, no invasions. but at the same time how much suffering there is.
Ideas are meat and potatoes for the Baron.
You really are boring sometimes. Did you know? The suffering that one observes now, and there is so much of it, does indicate, however, that society has reached a certain moral level.
Yes, yes, of course.
You said just now, Baron, that our age will be considered great. But people are small just all the same. I mean, look how small I am.
That's Andrey playing our brother. He's the scholar of the family. We expect him to become a professor. The father was a military man, but his son has gone in for a scholarly career. It was father's wish.
We've been teasing him today. We think he's a little in love.
With a young lady living here. She'll come later, I'm sure, and you'll see her. Andrey isn't in love with her. I won't admit that. He has some taste after all. It's simply for fun. He's teasing us, playing fool. In fact, I heard yesterday that she was to be married to Protopopov, the chairman of our district council. A very good thing, too. Andrey, dear, come here for a minute.
This is our brother, Andrey Sergeyevich.
My name is Vershinin.
And mine is Prosorov. You're our new battery commander.
Alexander Ignatievich comes from Moscow.
Really? Well then, I congratulate you. My sisters will let you have no peace.
I've had time to bore your sisters already.
He's a scholar and he plays the violin. Andrey, don't go.
Leave me alone,
Yeah.
please.
Come. How funny he is. Alexander Ignatievich used to be called the lovesick major at one time. He wasn't a bit offended.
Not in the least.
And I'd like to call you the lovesick violinist. Or the lovesick professor.
He's in love, Andrusha's in
That's
love.
enough! That's enough! I haven't slept all night, and this morning I don't feel quite myself. I read till 4 o'clock, then went to bed, but it was of no use. I thought of one thing, then another, and then it gets light so early here. The sun simply pours into my bedroom. This summer, while I'm here, I want to translate a book from the English.
You read English then?
Yes, our father oppressed us with education. Thanks to him, we all know English, French, and German, and Irina knows Italian,
Buongiorno, signore.
but at a price.
In this town, to know 3 languages is an unnecessary luxury. Not even a luxury, but an unnecessary burden. Like a 6th finger. You know, a great deal that's unnecessary.
I don't think there can be a town so dull and dismal that intelligent and educated people are unnecessary in it. Let us suppose that of the 100,000 people living here, which are, of course, uncultured and behind the times, that there are only 3 of your sort. It goes without saying that you'll never conquer the massive darkness round you. Little by little, as you go on living, you'll be lost in the crowd. You'll have to give in to it. Life will get the better of you, but still you won't disappear without a trace. After you, there may appear another 6 like you, and then 12, and so on until you form a majority. In 200 or 300 years, life on Earth will be unimaginably beautiful and marvellous. We need such a life, and though we don't have it yet, we must dream of it. Then you complain of knowing a great deal that's unnecessary.
I'll stay for lunch. All that really ought to be written down.
You say that in 200 or 300 years life on Earth will be beautiful and marvellous, but we must start preparing for it. We must begin to work.
Yes. What a lot of flowers you have. What I've been missing all my life is flowers. But there, it's no use thinking about it.
No doubt you think the German's getting sentimental. But on my honour, I'm Russian. I can't even speak German. My father belonged to the Orthodox Church.
I often think, what if you were to begin life over again, knowing what you're doing? If one life, which had been already lived, were only a rough sketch, so to speak, and the second were the final copy. Then, I think, each of us would try not to repeat himself. He'd create a different setting for his life. He'd have a house like this, with plenty of light and masses of flowers. I have a wife and 2 little girls. My wife is in delicate health. If I were to begin life again, I don't think I would marry. No.
Dear sister, congratulations on your name day. I wish you everything you desire from my heart, and to present you with a little gift. The history of our high school for 50 years, written by yours truly. An insignificant little book, written because I had nothing better to do. Good day, my name is Collegan. I teach in the high school here. In that little book you'll find a list of everyone who's graduated during the last 50 years. Fegi quod potui, fegiant meliora potentes.
But you gave me a copy of this book at Easter.
Impossible. And even if it's true, give it to the Colonel. Take it, my dear Colonel. Someday when you're bored, you can read it.
Thank you. I'm very glad to have made your acquaintance.
Oh, but you're not leaving now. No.
You must stay for lunch. Please do.
Yes, please.
I believe I've intruded on a name day party. Forgive me, I didn't know and haven't congratulated you.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, is Sunday, a day of rest. Let's all rest and enjoy ourselves, each in accordance with our age and our position. The Romans were healthy because they knew how to work and they knew how to rest. They had mens sana and corpore sano. Their life was moulded into a certain framework. Masha loves me, and tonight we'll go round to the headmaster's house. What a sociable man.
Would you come into lunch, please? There's a pie.
Olga! My dear Olga. Yesterday, I was working from early in the morning till 11 o'clock at night and was tired out. But today, I feel happy.
Hi!
Dear Olga.
Splendid!
Can you mind you don't drink today, do you hear? It's bad for your health to drink.
Oh, come, that's a thing of the past. I haven't been drunk for 2 years. But there, my good girl, what does it matter?
Anyway, don't you dare touch a drop. Oh, to hell with it. I'm going to be bored a whole evening at the headmaster's.
I wouldn't go if I were you.
Well, don't
It's
go.
very simple.
Yeah, don't go, love.
Oh, yes. Don't go. Oh, it's a damnable life. Insufferable.
Come.
Enough, Vasily Vasilievich! Stop it.
Your health, Colonel. I am a teacher and one of the family here, Masha's husband. She's very kind, really very kind.
I'll have some of this dark-coloured vodka. To your health. I feel so happy with all of you.
Masha is gloomy today. She married at 18, and she thought he was the cleverest of men. But now it's not the same. He's the kindest of men, but certainly not the cleverest.
Andrey, come on.
What are you thinking of?
Nothing. I don't like that Solioni of yours. I'm afraid of him. He says such stupid things.
I'm sorry for him and annoyed by him. But more sorry, I think he's shy. When we're alone, he's very smart and intelligent. But in company, he's rude, a bore. Don't go yet. Let them sit down to the table. Let me sit with you. What are you thinking of? How many years we have before us? A long chain of days full of my love for you.
Nikolai Lvovich, don't talk to me about life.
I have a passionate craving for life, for struggle, for work. And that craving is intermingled in my soul with my love for you, Irina. And just because you're beautiful, it seems to me that life too is beautiful. What are you thinking of?
You say that life is beautiful. Yes, but what if it only seems to be? Life for us sisters hasn't been beautiful yet at all. We've been stifled like plants, choked by weeds. I'm starting to cry. I mustn't do that. I must work. I must work. The reason we're all so depressed and gloomy is because we know nothing of work. We were taught to despise it.
Oh, honey. Oh, I hope my hair's okay. Irina's again. Congratulations. You have so many visitors. I really feel embarrassed. Good day, Baron.
Well, here's Natalia Ivanovna. How are you, my dear?
Congratulations on the name day. You have such a big party. I really feel embarrassed.
Nonsense, we have only our own people. Oh, you've got on a green sash. My dear, that's not done.
Why? Is it a bad omen?
No, but it's just that it doesn't go with your dress and it looks odd.
Really? But you know it's not exactly green.
I wish you a good fiancée, Irina. It's time for you to think of getting married.
Natalia Ivanovna, I hope we may hear of your engagement too.
Natalia Ivanovna has a suitor already.
I'll have another little glass of wine. You only live once, what the hell?
You deserve 3 bad marks for conduct.
How nice this cordial is. What's it made of?
Cockroaches.
How disgusting.
We're having roast turkey and apple pie for supper. I'm at home all day and home again this evening, so won't you come back again this evening, friends?
May I come too?
Please do.
Nature, our hearts for love created.
Stop it, gentlemen. Aren't you tired of it yet?
I'm an old sinner, but why Natalia Ivanovna is blushing, I can't imagine.
Come. Don't take any notice. Please. Stop. Wait.
So ashamed. They're making fun of me.
My darling, please don't be upset. They're only joking. Oh, my dear, my sweet. They're all kind, warm-hearted people. And they're fond of me, and of you too. Come on.
I'm so unaccustomed to society.
Oh, my dear, sweet darling. I feel so happy. My soul is full of love and ecstasy. I love you. I love you. How and when I first loved you, I can hardly say. But will you be my wife? I love you. I love you as I have never loved anyone.
What are you doing, Andrusha? Reading. Never mind. Is there a light?
What is it, Natasha?
I was looking for a light. It's carnival and the servants aren't acting normally. You've always got to be on the lookout, just in case something goes wrong. Last night, 12 o'clock, I was passing through the dining room and there was a candle left burning. Couldn't find who had lit it. What time is it?
8:15.
Oh, Olga and Irina aren't in yet. Still at work, poor dears. 8:15. Our Bobik isn't well. Yesterday he was feverish and today he's cold all over. I'm so worried.
It's all right, Natasha. The boy is fine.
We'd better be careful about his food anyway. I'm so anxious. And the mamas are going to be here for the carnival at 9 o'clock. It would be better if they did not come, Andrusha.
But they've been invited, you know.
Baby woke up this morning, looked at me, and all at once he gave a smile. "Good morning, darling," I said. "Good morning, Bobic." And he laughed. Children understand. They understand very well. So I'll tell them, Andrusha, not to let the carnival party come in.
That's for my sisters to say. It's their house, they give the orders here.
I'll speak to them. They're so kind. I've ordered yogurt for supper. The doctor says you must have nothing but yogurt or you'll never get thinner. Bobic is cold. I think his room is too chilly for a nursery. We ought to move him to a different room, till the warmer weather comes anyway. Irina's room, for instance, it's just right for a nursery. It's warm and the sun shines there all day. I'll ask her. She's never at home anyway, except at night. Andrusha, why don't you speak?
Nothing. Besides, I have nothing to say.
I was married when I was 18. I was afraid of my husband then because he was a teacher and I'd only just left school. In those days, I thought him to be an awfully scholarly, clever and important person. Now,
Yes, of course.
when I have to be around the teachers, my husband's colleagues, it makes me miserable.
Yes. But it makes no difference whether they're teachers or military men. In this town, at least, they're all equally uninteresting. It's all the same. An educated man, here, worried to death by his wife, worried to death by his house, worried to death by his estate, worried to death by his horses. A Russian is peculiarly given to exalted ideas. But why does he always fall so short in his life? Why?
Why?
Why is he worried to death by his children and by his wife? And why are his wife and children worried to death by him?
You're rather depressed this evening.
Perhaps. I've had no dinner and nothing to eat since morning. My daughter is unwell, and when my little girls are ill, I'm consumed by anxiety. My conscience reproaches me for having given them such a mother. What a fool she is. We began quarrelling at 7 o'clock this morning, and at 9 I slammed the door and left. I can never talk about it, except with you. Don't be angry with me. Apart from you, I have no one. No one. You're a splendid, wonderful woman. Splendid. Wonderful. It's dark. I can see the light in your eyes.
It's lighter here.
I love you. Love you. Love you. I love your eyes, your movements. I see them in my dreams. Splendid. Wonderful woman.
When you talk to me like that, I laugh as though I'm frightened. Go on saying it anyway. Someone is coming. Talk of something else.
I've got a three-barreled name. My name is Baron Tuzenbach Krona Altschauer, but I am just as Russian as you. I belong to the Orthodox Church. In fact, there's very little of the German left in me. Nothing. Yeah, perhaps the stubbornness and patience with which I bore you as I walk you home every evening.
Oh, tired as I am.
And every day I'll come to the telegraph office and I'll walk you home. And I'll do it for 10 years, for 20 years. till you drive me away. Oh, it's you! How are you?
Well, I'm home at last. Are the carnival people coming tonight?
Yes.
I have to rest. I'm tired.
When you come home from the office, you seem so young, so forlorn.
I'm tired. No, I don't like this job. I don't like it.
You've grown thinner. And you look younger. Rather like a boy in the face.
That's the way she does her hair.
This job doesn't suit me. It's work without poetry, without meaning. That's the doctor knocking. Not back, dear. I can't. I'm too tired. He'll come back. We ought to do something about it. The doctor and our Andrey were at the club yesterday and they lost again. Another 200 rubles for Andrey.
Can't be helped now.
2 weeks ago he lost money. In December he lost money. I wish he'd hurry up and lose everything. Perhaps then we'd get away from here. My God. Every night I dream of Moscow. It's perfect madness. But it's still almost half a year before we can leave.
Natasha mustn't know about his losses.
I don't suppose she cares.
Oh, here he is. Has he paid his rent yet?
No, not a kopeck in 8 months. He forgets things like that.
Look how gravely he sits.
Why are you so quiet, Alexander Ignatievich?
I don't know. I'm dying for tea. I'd give half my life for a glass of tea. I've had nothing to eat since morning.
Irina Sergeyevna,
Yes?
come here, then easy. I can't do without you.
Very well. If they won't bring tea, let's discuss something.
By all means. What?
What? Let us dream of the life that will come after us in 200 or 300 years.
Well, when we are dead, men will change the fashion of their coats, fly in balloons, discover a sixth sense, perhaps, and develop it. But life will remain just the same, just as difficult, just as full of mysteries and of happiness. In 1,000 years, man will sigh and complain about how hard life is, but he'll still be afraid of death, just like us, and just like now.
Well, I don't know. It seems to me that everything on earth is bound to change by degrees, and is already changing before our eyes. In 200 or 300, or perhaps 1,000 years, time doesn't matter, a new and happy life will come. We're working for it. Yes, and suffering for it. We're creating it. And that alone is the purpose of our existence. And is our happiness, if you like.
What is it?
I don't know. I've been laughing all day.
The more I live, the more I want to know. My hair is turning grey, I'm almost an old man. But I still know so little. So little. Except what matters most. That there is no happiness for us. There should not be and never will be. We must work and leave happiness for the descendants of our descendants.
You think it's no use even dreaming of happiness? But what if I'm happy?
You're not.
It's clear we don't understand each other. How am I to convince you? Laugh. Not only in 200 or 300 years, but in 1,000,000 years, life will be just the same. It doesn't change. It remains stationary, following its own laws, which we have nothing to do with, or with which we'll never find out anyway. Migratory birds, they fly forwards and backwards, and whatever ideas, great or small, stray through their minds, they'll keep on flying. Just the same, without knowing why or where.
But still, isn't there a meaning?
Meaning. Here it's snowing. What meaning is there in that?
I think man ought to have faith. Or to seek faith. Or else his life is empty. To live and not to understand why birds fly, why children are born, why there are stars in the sky. You've got to know what you're living for, or else it's all waste and nonsense.
And yet you're sorry when your youth is over.
I give up arguing with you. The die is cast. You know, Maria Sergeyevna, I've resigned my commission.
So I hear. And I see no good in that. I don't like civilians.
Oh, never mind. I'm not good looking enough to be a soldier. But I want to work. Just for one day in my life. To work. So that I can come home at night, tired out, and fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. Workmen, they sleep soundly.
What a wind there is.
Yes. I'm sick of winter. I've already begun to forget what summer's like.
Little babies understand it very well. Good morning, darling. Good morning, Bobek, I said. And he looked at me in quite a special way. You think I say this because I'm a mother, but no, I assure you, he's an extraordinary child.
Oh, if that child were mine, I'd fry him in a frying pan and eat him.
Rude, ill-bred man!
Happy people don't notice what the weather's like. If I lived in Moscow, I wouldn't care whether it was winter or summer.
You won't notice Moscow when you live there. Happiness is never something we can have. It's only something we can dream about.
What has become of all the sweets?
Solioni has eaten them.
Oh,
There's a letter for you, sir.
From my daughter. Yes, of course. Forgive me, Maria Sergeyevna. I won't be able to stay for tea. Always is upset.
What is it? Not a secret.
My wife has taken poison again. I have to go. My fine, dear, splendid woman.
Where's he off to then? I was just going to give him his tea. Men!
Leave me alone! Give me no peace! Listen to me! Oh, you bother me, old lady!
Why are you so happy, darling?
Visa!
Visa, all day at his books.
Can you sit down? You take up all the table with your cards!
How mean you are, Masha.
If I mean, don't talk to me! Don't interfere with me!
Don't interfere. Don't interfere.
You're just an old man who talks rot like a schoolboy at Mr. Ray's house.
Masha, why are you speaking that way? Why, with your good looks, you'd be simply fascinating in a well-bred social circle, if it weren't for the things you say. Je vous prie, pardonnez-moi, Marie. Mais vous avez des manières un peu grossières.
give me. I think there's some brandy down there.
Oh, il paraît que mon Bobek déjà ne dort pas. He's awake. He isn't well today. I have to go to him next week.
Where has Alexander Ignatievich gone?
Home. Something's going on with his wife. Again.
You always sit alone thinking. There's no making out what you think about. Come on. Let's make peace. Let's have a drink. I'm gonna have to play the piano all night, I suppose. All sorts of tripe. Here goes.
Why do you want to make peace? I have not quarrelled with you.
You always make me feel as though something has gone wrong between us. You're strange.
I am strange. Who is not strange? Forget thy wrath, Elieko.
I don't see what Alieko has to do with it.
When I'm tete-a-tete with someone, I'm all right. Just like anybody else, but in company, I'm depressed. I'm ill at ease and I say all sorts of idiotic things. But at the same time, I'm more conscientious and
I'm
straightforward than
often
those.
angry with you because you're always attacking me when we're in company, and yet somehow I like you. What the hell? I'm going to drink a lot today. Let's drink.
Let's. I've never had anything against you, Baron. But I have the temperament of Lermontov. I'm a lot like Lermontov to look at. So I'm told.
I've sent in my resignation. I've been thinking of it for 5 years, and at last I've made a decision. I'm going to work.
Forget thy wrath, El Yeko. Forget thy dreams.
I'm going to work. What time are the carnival party coming?
They promised to come at 9, so they should be here soon.
Hang it all! Let's all have a drink! Andrusha! I'll go to university in Moscow when you do, Andrusha.
Which? There are 2 universities in Moscow.
There's only one university in Moscow.
I tell you, there are 2.
There may be 3 for all our kids. So much the better.
There are 2 universities in Moscow. There are 2 universities in Moscow. The old one and the new one. But if you don't want to listen, if what I say irritates you, oh, I can keep quiet. I can even leave the room.
Bravo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this party going. Solione's a funny fellow.
The Baron is drunk. The Baron is drunk. The Baron is...
Ivan Romanich.
What is it?
We have to go.
Good night,
Good
my
night.
darling.
But what about the carnival party?
They won't be coming. You see, dear, Natasha says Bobik is not well, and so... In fact, I know nothing about him and don't care either.
Bobik isn't well.
It's not the first time we've had to lump it. If we're kicked out, we'll have to go. It's not Bobik that's ill. She's a bit petty, vulgar creature. Let's go outside, then we can talk. We'll decide what to do.
I never had the time to get married because life flashed by like lightning. And also because I was passionately in love with your mother, who was married.
A person shouldn't get married. You shouldn't because it's boring.
But what about loneliness? It's a dreadful thing to be lonely, my boy.
Come, let's go.
What's the hurry? We've plenty of time.
I'm afraid my wife might stop me.
Ah.
I'm not going to play today. I'll just sit and watch. I don't feel well. What can you do, doctor, for shortness of breath?
It's no use asking me. I don't remember, my boy. I know nothing.
Let's go through the kitchen.
Who is it?
The mamas are here, all ready and dressed up.
Nanny dear, tell them there's no one at home. They must excuse us.
Where is everyone?
They've all gone home.
How strange. Are you alone here?
Yes. Good night.
I've behaved tactlessly, without sufficient restraint just now. You're not like other people. You're pure, noble, and you see truth. You alone can understand me. I love you. I love you deeply, infinitely.
Good night. You must go.
I can't live without you, my joy, my happiness. Those glorious, exquisite, marvellous eyes, eyes that I have never seen
and any other woman.
Don't, Vasily Vasilievich.
I am speaking of love to you for the first time, and I feel as if I'm on another planet. It doesn't matter. There is no forcing kindness, of course. But there can be no rivals. There must not be rivals. For I swear by all that is sacred, I will kill any rival. Oh, exquisite being.
Oh, let him read. Oh, excuse me, Vasily Vasilievich. I didn't know you were here. I'm in my dressing gown.
I don't care. Goodbye.
You're tired. My poor dear little girl. You ought to go to bed earlier.
Is Bobik asleep?
He's asleep, but not sleeping quietly. By the way, dear, I've been meaning to talk to you, but either you're out or I haven't the time. Bobik's room is cold and damp, and your room is so nice for a nursery. My sweet, my dear, would you mind moving for a time into Olia's room?
Where?
Well, you'd be in the same room with Olga, and Bobik would be in yours. Adorable child. This morning he looked at me with such eyes. Oh, that must be Olya. How late she is.
Protopopov is here.
Protopopov? How strange men are. Tell him I'll be right there. Oh, you here? That must be Olya.
Well, this is a surprise. They said they were going to have an evening party.
Strange. When I went away half an hour ago, they were expecting the carnival people.
They've all gone.
Has Masha gone too? Where has she gone? And why is Protopopov waiting outside? Whom is he waiting for?
Don't ask questions, please. I'm tired.
Oh, isn't she a bad little girl?
The meeting has just ended. I'm tired out. My head is killing me. Our headmistress is ill and I have to take her place. My head, my head. Oh, and Andrey lost 200 rubles at cards yesterday. The whole town is talking about it.
Yes, I'm tired out by the meeting too.
My wife decided to give me another fright, so she nearly poisoned herself. It's all over now. It's all right. What a relief. But I can't stay at home. I absolutely can't. Come with me, Fyodor Ilyich.
No, I'm too tired. Too tired. Has my wife gone home?
I think so.
Goodbye. I have all day tomorrow and the next day to rest. I do want some tea. I was looking forward to spending the evening in pleasant company. Oh, Felicum hominum spem, accusative of exclamation.
I guess I'm on my own.
My head is killing me. My head, Andrey lost at cards. The whole town is talking about it. Oh, I'll go and lie down. Tomorrow I'm free. Oh God, how nice that'll be. Tomorrow I'm free, the day after I'm free. Oh, my head.
no one.
I'll be back in half an hour.
Oh, Moscow. Moscow. How much longer will it be before we see Moscow again?
They're sitting below under the stairs. I said to them, you can't stay there. Come on upstairs. They cry. We don't know where Father is. What if he's been burned? Oh, such a dreadful thought. And those poor souls in the yard. They're only in their nightclothes.
Oh, take this dress, Nanny. Go the dress and the skirt and the blouse and this one. Oh God, what a terrible thing. Kirsanov Street is burnt to the ground, it seems.
Oh,
Yes, take
such
this.
a night, such a night.
This one. The Vershinians have had such a fright, their house was very nearly burnt. Let them stay the night here. We can't let them go home, Nanny, darling.
No.
Oh, Nanny, give them everything. We don't want anything. Give it all away. So tired, I can hardly stand. We mustn't let the Vershinians go home. The little girls can sleep in the drawing room. Alexander Ignatievich down below at the Baron's. Oh, the doctor is drunk, frightfully drunk. No one can be put in his room. Vershinian's wife can sleep in the drawing room too.
Alyosha, darling, don't send me away. Please don't send me away.
No, that's nonsense, Nanny. No one's sending you away.
Well, I work hard. I do my best, but I'm slow. She'll tell you to send me away, but well, where would I go? What would I do?
Oh, come and sit down, Nanny, darling. You're tired, poor thing. Rest, good dear Nanny. Oh, how pale you're looking.
They're saying we have to form a committee to help those who have lost their homes to the fire. Well, that's a good idea. We should always be ready to help the poor. It is the duty of the rich. Bobek and baby Sophie are sleeping. Sleeping as though nothing were happening. People everywhere. Everywhere you go, the house is full. I'm afraid the children will get sick.
It's quiet here and you can't see the fire.
Yes, my hair must be untidy. They say I've grown fatter, but it's not true, not a bit. Masha's sleeping, all tired out, poor dear. Dare you to sit down in my presence? Go out of the room! Why you keep that old woman, I don't understand.
Excuse me, but I don't understand either.
She's no use here. She's a peasant. She ought to be in the country. You spoil people. I like order in the house, and there ought to be no useless servants in the house. You're tired, poor darling. Our headmistress is tired. When baby Sophie grows up and goes to the high school, I shall be afraid of you.
I won't be headmistress.
You'll be elected, Olishka. without a doubt.
I won't, I'll refuse. I can't, it's too much for me. You were so rude to Nanny just now. Excuse me, but I can't endure it. It makes me feel faint.
Forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
I can't endure it. Such an attitude oppresses me. It makes me ill. I feel simply unnerved by it.
Forgive me.
The very slightest rudeness or tactless word upsets me.
I often say too much. That's true. But you must admit, dear, she might as well be in the country.
She's been with us for 30 years.
But now she can't work. Either I don't understand, or you won't understand me. What's the use of her? All she does is sleep or sit still.
Well, let her sit still.
Sit still? She's a servant. I don't understand you.
This night has made me 10 years older.
We must come to an understanding. You're at the school, while I'm at the house. You're teaching while I look after the home. And if I say anything about the servants, I know what I'm talking about. And that old thief, that old hag, that old witch should clear out of this house tomorrow. I won't let people annoy me. I won't have it. Really, my dear, if you don't move downstairs, we'll always be quarrelling. It's awful.
Where's Masha? It's time to be going home. The fire is dying down, so they say. Only one part of the town has been burnt. And yet there was a wind. It looked as if the whole town would be destroyed. I'm exhausted. Alenshka, my dear, I often think, if it hadn't been for Masha, I should have married you. You're so good.
What is that?
The doctor is helplessly drunk. Most unfortunate. Here he comes.
He hasn't drunk for 2 years, and now he's gone and done it.
Devil take them all! Damn them all! They think I'm a doctor. I can cure all sorts of complaints. I really know nothing about it at all. I forgot all I need to know. I remember nothing. Absolutely nothing. I treated a woman last Wednesday and she died because I knew nothing. Perhaps I'm not a man at all, but I only pretend to have arms and legs and a head. Perhaps I don't even exist. But only imagine that I walk and eat and sleep whatever Oh, I wish I didn't exist. I don't care. I don't give a damn. I mean, who the hell knows that? The day before yesterday, there was a conversation at the club. They were talking about Shakespeare, Voltaire, and I've read nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I looked as though I'd read them. And all the others did the same as I did. Oh, the meanness, the vulgarity. And then, the woman that I killed on Wednesday came back into my mind, and it all came back into my mind, and everything seemed so disgusting and mean and all twisted in my soul. So, I got drunk.
Let's sit here. No one will come here.
If it hadn't been for the soldiers, the whole town would have been burnt. Splendid fellows. They are first-rate men. Splendid fellows.
What time is it?
Past 2. It's getting light already.
They're all sitting in the other room. And that Solionia of yours is sitting there too. You had better go to bed, Doctor.
It's all right. Thank you.
You've been hitting the pothole, Ivan Romanich. Bravo! And Vina Veritas, the ancients used to say.
Everyone is asking me to get up a concert for the benefit of the families whose houses were burned down.
Why, who is there?
But we could do it, if we wanted. Maria Sergeyevna plays the piano magnificently, to my thinking.
Yes, she plays splendidly.
She's forgotten. She hasn't played in 3 or 4 years.
There is absolutely no one who understands music in this town. Not one soul. But I do understand. And I assure you, on my honor, Maria Sergeyevna plays gloriously. Almost with genius.
You're right, Baron. I'm very fond of her. Masha, I mean.
But to be able to play so gloriously and to know that no one understands you.
Yes. But would it be suitable for her to take part in a concert? Perhaps it would be all right. There's no denying that our director is a fine man, indeed a very fine man, very intelligent, but he has such views. Of course, it's not his business. Still, if you like, I'll speak to him about it.
I got dirty all over it, right? What a sight I must be. And I heard a rumour that our brigade is going to be transferred. To Poland, maybe?
Yes, me too. The town will be a wilderness if it goes.
We'll go away too.
The smithereens!
You smashed such a valuable thing! Ivan Romanich! Ivan Romanich! I'll give you -0 for conduct.
That was Mother's clock.
Was it? Well, perhaps I didn't really smash it, but we only imagined I smashed it. Perhaps we don't exist, but only seem to exist. Not really here. I don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. What are you staring at? Natasha has a little affair going on with Brother Popoff and you don't see it. And sit there, see nothing. Well, Natasha has a little affair on with Brother Popoff.
How strange it all is, really. When the fire began, I ran home as fast as I could. I rushed home, and though the house was safe, my little girls were standing in the doorway in their nightgowns. Their mother was nowhere to be seen. And people were bustling about, horses and dogs were running about, and on my children's faces were looks of alarm, horror, pleas for help, and I don't know what. It wrung my heart to see their faces. My God, I thought, what more will my children have to endure? I took their hands and ran with them. I could think of nothing else but what more they would have to go through in this world. When I came to your house, I found their mother here, screaming, angry. And while my little girls were standing in the doorway in their nightgowns, and the street was red with the fire, and there was a fearful noise, I thought that something like it used to happen years ago, when the enemy would suddenly make a raid and begin plundering and burning. And yet, in reality, what a difference there is between what is now and what has been in the past. And when a little more time has passed, another 200 or 300 years, people will look back on our present manner of life with horror and derision, and everything today will seem awkward and heavy and strange and uncomfortable. What a wonderful life that will be. What a wonderful life. Forgive me. Here I am airing my theories again. It's as though everyone were asleep. And so I say, what a wonderful life it will be. Can you only imagine? Here there are only 3 of your sort in the town now. In generations to come, there will be more and more and more. And the time will come when everything will be changed, and everything will be as you would have it. They will live in your way. And later on, you too will be out of date. People will be born who will be better than you. I'm in such a strange state of mind today. I have a fiendish longing for life. Young and old are bound by law, and precious are its pen.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
La la
La la la.
No, please don't, Vasilyevich. You can't stay here.
Why is it the Baron can be here and I can't?
We must be going, really. How's the fire?
They say it's dying down. No. I really can't understand why it is the Baron can be here and I can't.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Let's go.
How that horrid Solioni has made the room smell of tobacco. The Baron is asleep. Baron. Baron.
I really am going to the brickyard directly to begin work. It's nearly settled. You're so pale and lovely and fascinating. It seems to me as though your paleness shines a light through the dark air. You're melancholy. You're dissatisfied with life. Come with me. Let's go and work together.
Nikolai Lvovich, go away.
Goodbye. I'm going. I look at you now, and I remember how on your name day, which seems like so long ago, you talked of the joy of work and were so cheerful and confident. And what a happy life I was dreaming of. And what has happened? There are tears in your eyes. Go to bed. It's getting light, it's nearly morning. If only I could give my life for you.
Nikolai Lvovich, do go. Really, this is too much.
Goodbye, I'm going.
Are you asleep, Fyodor?
Hey?
You'd better go home.
My darling Masha, my precious girl.
She's tired out. Let her rest, Fedya.
Oh, I'll go at once. My dear, charming wife, I love you, my only one.
Amo, amas, ama. Amamus, amatus, aman.
Yes, really, she's wonderful. You've been my wife for 7 years, and it seems to me as though we were only married yesterday. Really, you are a wonderful woman. I'm content. I'm content. I'm content.
I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored. There's something I can't get out of my head. It's simply revolting. It sticks in my head like a nail. Andrey has mortgaged this house to the bank, and his wife has grabbed all the money. And you know this house doesn't belong to him alone, but to the 4 of us.
Andrusha is in debt all around. What can you do?
It's revolting.
We're not poor. I work. I teach at the high school and then I give private lessons. There's no nonsense about me. Omnia mea mecum porto, as the saying is.
I want for nothing. But it's the injustice that revolts me. Go, Fyodor.
You're tired. Rest for half an hour and I'll sit and wait for you. Sleep. I'm content. I'm content. I'm content.
Yes, how petty our Andrey has grown. How dull and old he has become beside that woman. And only yesterday he was boasting of having been made a member of the district council. He's a member. Protopopov is chairman. The whole town is laughing and talking of it, and he's the only one who sees and knows nothing. And here everyone has been running to the fire while he sits in his room and takes no notice. He does nothing but play his violin. Oh, it's awful! Awful! I can't take it anymore. I can't die.
What is it?
Where has it all gone? Where is it? Oh my God. My God, I've forgotten everything. Every day I forget something more. Life is slipping away. It'll never come back. We'll never go to Moscow. Never! Never! I'm so miserable. I can't work. I'm not going to work. I've had enough of it. Enough of it. I've been a telegraph clerk and now I have a job at the town council and I despise every bit of the work they give me. I've been working for years. My brains are drying up. I'm getting thin and old and ugly and there's nothing. Nothing, not the slightest satisfaction. And time is passing. And it feels like I'm moving away from a beautiful life. Moving farther and farther into the depths. I'm in despair and I don't know how I haven't killed myself yet.
No, darling, don't cry, don't cry. It makes me
I'm
miserable.
not crying. I'm not crying. I won't. I won't.
My darling, I'm speaking to you as your sister and as a friend. If you care for my advice, marry the Baron. You know you respect him, you think highly of him. It's true, he's not good looking, but he's such a thoroughly nice man, so good. A woman doesn't marry for love anyway, but to do her duty. Well, that's what I think, and I would marry without love. Whoever asked me, I'd marry him, if only he were a good man. I'd even marry an old man.
I kept hoping we'd move to Moscow. I thought I'd meet my true love there. I've been dreaming of him, holding him, loving him. But it was all nonsense, utter nonsense.
Oh, my darling, my lovely sister. I do understand, you know. When the Baron left the army and came to us in his plain coat, I thought he looked so ugly it actually made me cry. He said to me, "Why are you laughing?" Well, how could I tell him? He's such a good man, you know, and if the two of you were together...
Maybe she was the one who set fire to the town.
You're so silly, Masha. The very silliest of the family, that's you.
I want to confess my sins, dear sisters. I'll confess it to you and never again to anyone else. I'll tell you everything. I'm in love. I'm in love. I love that man. You've just seen him. I love Vershinin.
Oh, stop it! I'm not listening anyway.
What can I do? At first I thought him strange. And then I was sorry for him. And then I came to love him. To love him with his voice, his words, his misfortunes, his two little girls.
Whatever silly things you say, I will not hear them.
You're the silly one, Nadia. I love him. So that's my fate. He loves me. It's all terrifying. Yes. Is it wrong? My darling, how are we going to live our lives? What will become of us? When you read a novel, it all seems so trite and obvious. When you're in love yourself, you see that nothing makes sense and we all have to decide things for ourselves. My darlings, my sisters, I've confessed it. Now I'll hold my tongue like a good, quiet girl.
Where's Olya? I've come to ask you for the key to the cupboard. I've lost mine. You've got one. It's a little key. What a tremendous fire! Now it's all begun to die down. Why don't you speak, Olya? It's time to stop this foolishness and sulking all about. You're here, Masha. You too, Irina. Very well then. Let's have things out in the open once and for all. What have you got against me? What is it?
Stop it, Andrusha. Please, let's talk tomorrow. This is such an agonizing night.
What have you against me?
La 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 la. Good night, Olya. Sleep well. Good night, Andrey. You'd better leave them now. They're tired out. You can go into things in the morning.
Yes, really, Andrusha. Let's put it off till tomorrow. It's time we were all in bed.
I'll go after I've said my piece. First, you have something against Natasha, my wife. And I've noticed that from the very day of my marriage. Natasha is a splendid woman. Honourable, conscientious, straightforward. That's my opinion. I love and respect my wife. Do you understand? I respect her, and I insist on other people respecting her too. I repeat, she's an honourable, conscientious woman. Secondly, you seem to be cross with me for not being a professor, not working in something scholarly. But But I'm a member of the district council. And I consider this service just as sacred and elevated as the service of learning. I'm a member of the district council. And I'm proud of it. Thirdly, there's something else I have to say. I've had to mortgage the house. I was driven to it by my debts. 35,000. But I'm not gambling anymore. I gave up cards long ago, and I'm sorry, and I apologize for it. But you girls, you get a pension at least.
Where's Masha? Isn't she here? It's strange.
They won't listen. Natasha is an excellent, conscientious woman. When I married her, I thought we would be happy, all of us. But my God. Darling sisters, don't believe what I say. Don't believe a word of it.
Isn't Masha here? Where's Masha? How strange.
Oh yeah. Who's knocking?
Oh, it's the doctor. Ivan Romanich. He's drunk.
What a night. Oh yeah, have you heard? The brigade is going to leave. They're being transferred far away.
No, that's just a rumour.
We'll be alone. Oh yeah. Well. My dear. My darling. I respect the Baron. I think highly of him. He is a good man. I'll marry him, only let's go to Moscow. Please, I'm begging you, let's just go. There's nothing in the world better than Moscow. Let's go, Olya. Let's go.
I shouldn't wonder if you get married in Poland, your Polish wife will clasp you in her arms and call you kochani. Goodbye.
They've all gone. The entire brigade.
They forgot to say goodbye to me.
Well, what about you?
I somehow forgot too. But I will see them soon. I've only one day more going tomorrow. Yes, only a year and I'll be on the retired list. And I'll come here again and live my life near you. There's just 1 year before I get my pension. I'll come here and I'll rearrange my affairs differently. I'll become a quiet, honourable, well-behaved person.
Well, you do need to arrange your life differently, my dear Ivan Romanich.
Yes, that's the way I feel.
Ivan Romanich is incorrigible. Incorrigible.
If you took me in hand, I'd reform.
Fyodor has shaved off his moustache. I can't bear to look at him.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, I might tell you what your face looks like now, but I'd better not.
Well, it's the thing now. Modus vivendi. Our headmaster is clean-shaven, and now that I'm second to him, I've taken to shaving too. Nobody likes it, but I don't care. I'm content. With moustache or without moustache, I'm equally content.
Ivan Romanich, dear, I'm dreadfully uneasy. You were in town yesterday. Tell me, what was it that happened?
What happened? Nothing. Nothing much. It doesn't matter.
The story is that Salioni and the Baron met
Stop
on
it! Ready.
on the boulevard near the theatre. Salioni began pestering the Baron.
I don't know. It's all nonsense.
A teacher at a divinity school wrote nonsense at the bottom of an essay, and the pupil puzzled over it, thinking it was a Latin word. It was terribly funny. They say Salioni is in love with Irina and hates the Baron. That's natural. Irina is a very nice girl.
Everything frightens me somehow today. All my things are packed. After dinner, I'll send off my luggage. The Baron and I are to be married tomorrow. And tomorrow we go to the brick factory, and the day after that I'll be in the school. The new life is starting. God will help me. When I passed my exam as a teacher, I felt so happy, so blissful that I cried.
That's all very well, but it's nothing but ideas, and very little that is serious. But I wish you success with all my heart.
My good, delightful darling. Oh, my heart of gold.
Well, the officers will be gone today, and life will go on in the old way. Whatever people may say, Masha is a true, good woman, and I love her dearly, and am thankful for my lot. I'm fortunate. I've even got the Order of the Stanislav of the 2nd degree, and I'm clever. Cleverer than very many people, though happiness doesn't lie in that.
Protopopov is sitting in the drawing room. He's come again today.
The headmistress hasn't come yet.
No, they've sent for her. If only you knew how difficult it is for me to live here now without Olya. Now that she's headmistress and lives at the school and is busy all day long, I'm alone. I'm bored, I have nothing to do, and I hate the room I live in. I finally come to realize it's not my destiny to be in Moscow. It's all in God's hands, that's the truth. When Nikolai Lvovich made me an offer again, I thought it over and I made up my mind. He is a good man. It's wonderful, really, how good he is. And I suddenly felt as though my soul had grown wings. My heart felt so light, and again I longed for work. Work! Only something happened yesterday. There's some mystery hanging over me.
Nonsense.
Our headmistress.
The headmistress has come. Let's go in.
Here he sits, snug and settled.
Well, why not?
Did you love my mother?
Very much.
Did she love you?
I don't remember.
you go coarse and spiteful. Here's our Andrey. All our hopes are shattered. It's as if thousands of people put time and money and work into building a new and splendid bell. Then, when at last they went to raise it, on the way to the tower it fell and smashed into pieces, all at once and for no reason at all. It's just how it is with Andrey.
When will there be quiet in the house? There's such noise.
Soon. The first, second, and the fifth batteries are leaving at 1 o'clock. I'm going tomorrow.
For good.
I don't know. Perhaps I'll come back again. Thank goodness knows, one way or the other. It doesn't matter.
My town will be empty. Something happened yesterday near the theatre. Everybody's talking about it and I don't know anything.
It's nothing. Foolishness. Salioni began annoying the Baron. He lost his temper and insulted the Baron, insulted Salioni, so in the end it came to Salioni having to challenge him. I think it's time. Yeah, it's supposed to be 12:30. In the crown fields we can see from here beyond the river. Yeah. This is Salioni's third duel.
Whose?
Salioni.
And the Baron's?
What about the Baron?
Well, you shouldn't let them do it. He may wound the Baron or even kill him.
The Baron is a very good fellow, but one Baron in the world more or less, what does it matter? Let them. It doesn't matter.
In my opinion, to take part in a duel, or to be present at it, even in the capacity of a doctor, is simply immoral.
Well, it may not only seem so, but we're not real. We're not here. It's the way it seems to exist. Nothing matters.
How they keep on talking. When Vershinin comes, tell me. Birds are already flying south. Swans or geese. Darlings. Happy birds.
The house will be empty. The officers are going. You're going. Irina's getting married and I'll be left in the house all alone.
And what about your wife?
A wife is a wife. I love Natasha, that's so. But sometimes she seems to me absolutely vulgar and I don't know what to think. I can't even account for my loving her, or anyway having loved her.
I'm going away tomorrow, my dear boy. Perhaps we'll never meet again. So this is my advice to you. Put on your hat, you know. Take your stick and walk. Walk off and go without looking back, and the farther you go, the better.
Doctor, it's time.
I'm coming up. I'm sick of you. If anyone comes to me, Andrey, tell them I'll be back in a minute.
Why are you croaking, old man?
Let's go.
How do you feel?
Like a pig in clover.
Oh, don't worry. I'll only shoot him like a snipe. You know, I've used a whole bottle today, and still they smell. My hands, they smell of a corpse.
Masha!
He's the only man in town who's glad the officers are going away.
That's not surprising. Our town will be empty now.
Darling, I have to leave for a short while, but I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
I have to go into town to see my comrades off.
That's not true. Nikolai, why are you so absent-minded today? What happened yesterday by the theatre?
I'll be back in an hour, and with you again, my beautiful one. For 5 years now I've loved you. Still I can't quite get used to it. And you seem to me more and more lovely. What eyes. What beautiful, exquisite hair. I'll carry you off tomorrow. We'll work. We'll be rich. All my dreams come true. The only thing. If only you loved me.
That's not in my power. I can't help it. I've never been in love in my life. I've been dreaming of it for years, day and night, but my soul is like a piano that's been locked and the key has been lost. But don't be sorry. I'll be a faithful and obedient wife, a good wife to you.
I couldn't sleep all night. That lost key torments my soul and won't let me sleep. Say something to me. Say something to me.
What? What should I say?
Anything.
Stop it.
I don't want to. I'm happy. I feel as though I was seeing these birch, these fir, these maple trees for the first time in my life, and they seem to be looking at me with curiosity and waiting. What beautiful trees. Really, how beautiful life ought to be under them. You see that tree there? It's dead. But it still waves in the wind with the others. So if I die, I'll still be part of life one way or another. Goodbye, my darling.
I'm coming with you.
No. Irina.
Yes?
I didn't have any coffee this morning. Could you ask them to make me some?
Is it all gone? What has become of my past? When I was young, happy and clever. When my dreams and thoughts were exquisite. When my past and present were lighted up by hope. Why on the very threshold of life do we become dull, drab, uninteresting, lazy, useless, indifferent, unhappy? There are 100,000 people in our town. They all eat, drink, sleep, then die. Others are born. They also eat, drink, and sleep. And not to be bored to stupefaction, they vary their lives by nasty gossip, vodka, cards, litigation. And the wives deceive their husbands, and the husbands tell lies and pretend they hear and see nothing. And an overwhelmingly vulgar influence crushes the children, and the divine spark within them was quenched. And they all become the same sort of dead, pitiful creatures, all exactly alike as their fathers and mothers. Dear sisters, wonderful sisters, Masha, my sister.
Who's talking so loud out there? Is that you, Andrusha? You wake baby Sophie. Il ne faut pas faire du bruit. La Sophie est dormie déjà. Vous êtes un If you want to speak, give the carriage with the baby to someone else.
Talking quietly.
Bobin. Naughty Bobin, little rascal. What's Mama's name? Darling. And who is this? It's Auntie Olia. Say to Auntie, good morning, Olia.
Good morning, Orisha. Well, my little girl, I'm having the time of it, living in a high school in a government apartment with dear Yushka. That's what the Lord has granted me in my old age. I've never had such a good life, sinful woman that I am. It's a big flat, and I have room to myself, my own bed even, and all at the government's expense. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the
We're just going, Olga Sergeyevna. It's time to be off. I wish you every... Where is Maria Sergeyevna?
In the garden. I'll go and look for her.
Oh, I'll go look for her too. Masha!
Everything comes to an end. Here we are, parting. The town has given us something like a lunch. The mayor made a speech. We drank champagne. I ate and listened, but my heart was here, with you all. I've grown used to you.
And shall we ever see each other again?
My wife and 2 little girls will stay for another 2 months. Please, if they need anything, if anything should happen.
Yes, yes, of course. Put your mind at rest. By tomorrow, there won't be a soldier left in the town. It'll all turn into a memory. And of course, for us, it'll be like starting a new life. Nothing turns out as we expect. I didn't want to be a headmistress, and yet I am, and fate won't have me return to Moscow.
Well, thank you for everything. Forgive me if anything was amiss. I've talked a great deal. Forgive me for that too. Don't think too badly of me.
Why doesn't Masha come?
What else can I say? What can I philosophize about? Life is hard. It seems to many of us dull and hopeless. But we must admit that it does get clearer and easier. And it looks as though the time we're not far off when it'll be full of happiness. Time for me to go. In the old days, men were absorbed in wars, filling their existence with marches, raids, victories. But now all that is a thing of the past, leaving behind it a great void. There's nothing to fill it with, though humanity is searching for it, and will eventually find something. Oh, if only it could be soon. If, don't you know, hard work reunited with education, and education with hard work, but really it's time for me to go.
Here she comes.
I've come to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, don't.
Write to me. Don't forget me. Let me go. Time is up. Olga Sergeyevna, take her. I must go, I'm late.
Oh, Masha, darling, stop it.
Never mind. Let her cry. Never mind. Let her cry. Let her... My good Masha. My dear Masha. You are my wife, and I love you anyway. I don't complain. I don't say a word of blame. Here, I'll here as my witness. We'll begin the old life again, and I won't say a word, not a hint.
Oh, calm yourself, Masha. Could you get her a glass of water?
I'm not crying.
She's not crying. She's being good.
My life is a failure. I want nothing now. I'll calm down in a minute, it doesn't matter.
Come on, Masha, there's a good girl. Calm yourself now. Let's go indoors. Come on.
I'm not going in. I don't go into that house.
Let's sit together, even if we don't say anything. I'm going away tomorrow, you know.
I took a false beard and moustache from a boy in the 3rd form yesterday. Just look. I look like the German teacher, don't I? Funny creatures, those boys.
You really do look like the German teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, Masha.
Awfully like.
What? Mr. Protopopov considered little Sophie and let Andrey Sergeyevich push Bogart's carriage. What a lot there is to do with children. Irina, you're going away tomorrow? What a pity. Why not stay just another week? You gave me such a fright. My dear, I've grown close to you. Do you suppose it will be easy for me to part with you? Well, put Andrey with his violin in your room. Let him soar away in there. And then we'll put little Sophie in his room. Adorable, delightful baby. Isn't she a good little girl? This morning she looked at me with such eyes and said, Mama.
A fine child, that's true.
I'll be all alone here tomorrow. First of all, I'll have that avenue of fir trees cut down. Then that maple. Looks so ugly in the evenings. My dear, that sash doesn't suit you at all. It's in bad taste. You ought to wear something brighter. You'll have flowers. Flowers planted everywhere. Oh, there'll be such a scent. Why is there a fork lying about that chair?
She's at it again.
They're going.
All our friends are going. A happy journey to them. We must go home. Where are my hat and cape?
I took them into the house. I'll go and fetch them now.
Yes. We can all go home now. It's time.
Olga Sergeyevna.
What is it?
Nothing.
What?
I don't know how to tell you this, but
Oh, it can't be.
yeah, such a business. I'm so worried. I'm worn out. I can't say another word. But it doesn't matter.
What's happened? This is such a terrible day. I don't know how to tell you, my precious.
Tell me what? For God's sake, what is it?
The Baron has just been killed in a duel.
I knew. I knew.
So worn out. Let them cry. Ta-da-da, boom-de-ay. Doesn't matter.
Listen to the band. They're all leaving and we'll be left to begin our lives all over again. We've got to live. We've got to live.
A time will come when everyone will know what all this is for. Why there is such misery. There'll be no mysteries. And meanwhile, yes, we've got to live. We've got to work. To work. Tomorrow I'll go alone. I'll teach in the school. I'll give my life to those in need. When winter comes and covers us with snow, I will work. Yes, I will work.
The music's so happy, so full of life. Oh my God. Time will pass and we shall go away forever and we will be forgotten. But our suffering will pass into joy for those who will come after us. Peace and happiness will reign on earth and we shall be remembered kindly and be blessed. Life isn't over yet. We shall live. Oh, the music's so happy, so joyful. In a little while, we'll know what we're living for. Why we suffer. If we only knew, if we only knew. If we only knew, if we only knew.